The air in the Dust Bowl diner hangs thick with the scent of old coffee and frying bacon. Sunlight streams through the large front window, illuminating swirling dust motes in lazy columns of gold. It is a place unstuck in time. Red vinyl booths, cracked but clean. A jukebox in the corner, silent. A long Formica counter attended by a waitress named Brenda, whose movements are as practiced and weary as the worn path behind the counter. The calm is a fragile thing. It shattered the moment the engines roared to life outside. A procession of heavy motorcycles, chrome gleaming like polished bones, pulls into the gravel lot. They park in a precise, disciplined line, an unspoken formation. The patrons of the diner, a handful of truckers and a family of 4, fall silent. Forks hover over plates. Conversations de introits. The bell above the door jingles, a sound too cheerful for the men who enter. There are 5 of them, large men, clad in worn leather vests adorned with patches that tell stories of miles and brotherhood. A skull with wings, the name Road Guardians stitched over their hearts. Their faces are maps of hard living. Sun-weathered skin, scars that curve around eyes and jaws, beards thick with road dust. As they do not speak, they move with an economy of motion, taking over a large corner booth as if it were reserved for them by fate. The leader settles in first. He is the largest, with a presence that seems to absorb the light around him. His name is Grizz. His eyes, deep-set and surprisingly clear, scan the room once. An assessment. A dismissal. He is flanked by Doc, a leaner man with wire-rimmed glasses and the steady hands of surgeon, and Silent, a monolith of a man whose quiet is a physical weight. Brenda approaches, notepad in hand. Her heart thumps a nervous rhythm against her ribs. "Coffee?" she asks, her voice a little too high. Grizz just nods. One slow, deliberate motion. She pours. The black liquid steams in the thick ceramic mugs. The men wrap their hands around the warmth, saying nothing. They are a silent island in a sea of nervous quiet. The world outside the diner window continues, oblivious. Cars pass on the highway. A bird sings. Then the bell jingles again. It is not a customer. A small girl stands framed in the doorway, a gasp of pure terror. She cannot be more than 9. Her feet are bare, caked in mud and scratched raw. She wears only a thin pair of unicorn print pajamas, one knee torn completely open. Her blonde hair is a tangled mess, full of leaves and twigs. Tears stream down her face, carving clean paths through the dirt on her cheeks. Her chest heaves with ragged, panicked sobs. Every eye in the diner locks onto her. For a moment, she just stands there, a portrait of absolute desperation. Her small form trembles, her blue eyes wide with a fear so profound it chills the warm air. She is a bomb of distress, ticking in the sudden silence. Then, a raw, broken sound escapes her lips. "Please," she whispers, a sound swallowed by the room. She takes a shaky step forward, her gaze sweeping across the faces of the truckers, the family, the waitress. Searching, pleading. "Please, somebody help me." Her voice cracks, gaining a desperate strength. He took him. He took my brother." The words hang in the air, sharp and terrible. The father of the family starts to rise from his seat, his wife grabbing his arm. Brenda stands frozen behind the counter, her hand over her mouth. The girl's frantic eyes land on the corner booth, on the 5 men in leather, on the mountain of a man at their center. Fear wars with desperation on her small face. Society has taught her to fear men who look like this, but her current terror is a far greater monster. "Mr. Albright," she sobs, pointing a trembling finger not at them, but at the door, as if accusing the outside world itself. "He has Toby." The name is an indictment, a verdict. Grizz does not move. His gaze remains fixed on the child. He is listening, not just to her words, but to the frantic drumbeat of her terror. He has heard this sound before, in vast zones, in broken homes. It is the universal anthem of the unprotected. Before anyone else can react, the bell jingles a 3rd time. Softly, civilized. A man steps inside, pausing to let his eyes adjust to the dim interior. He is the perfect opposite of the road guardians. He wears a tailored charcoal suit, a crisp white shirt, and shoes polished to a mirror shine. His hair is perfectly styled, his face clean-shaven and handsome. He radiates an aura of calm authority and expensive cologne. He smiles, a practiced, reassuring expression that does not quite reach his eyes. "There you are, Lily," he says, his voice smooth as silk. "You gave me quite a scare." The girl, Lily, recoils as if struck. She lets out a small, animal whimper and scrambles backward, pressing herself against the leg of a table. "No," she breathes. "Go away." The man, Mr. Albright, directs his smile to the rest of the room. It's an apology, a plea for adult understanding. "I'm so terribly sorry for this disruption," he says, his tone dripping with condescension. "My name is Dr. Albright. I'm a family counselor. Lily here is a special case." He takes a step toward her. She has a very vivid imagination, tends to get confused and run off. Her brother, Toby, is perfectly fine. He's at home with their mother, likely playing video games as we speak. The story is plausible. It is neat. It explains away the terror, the torn pajamas, the bare feet. It asks the room to dismiss the evidence of their own eyes. Most of them do. The trucker sighs and turns back to his meal. The family shuffles, embarrassed to have witnessed a private, awkward moment. Albright sees his victory. He reaches a manicured hand toward the girl. "Come now, Lily. Let's go home. We're causing a scene." But his hand never reaches her. A large shape has moved to block his path. Grizz stands between them. He has not risen quickly. He has simply unfolded himself from the booth, a mountain moving into place. He does not look at Albright. His eyes are still on the terrified child cowering by the table. "Let her be," he says. The voice is not loud. It is a low rumble like distant thunder. It carries more authority than Albright's polished speech ever could. Albright stops. A flicker of annoyance crosses his perfect face. He looks Grizz up and down, taking in the leather, the tattoos, the sheer size of him. A dismissive sneer touches his lips. "Excuse me," Albright says, trying to reassert his control. "This is a private family matter. I'd appreciate it if you didn't interfere." Grizz finally turns his head, his gaze meeting Albright's. There is no anger in his eyes, just a cold, hard curiosity, an evaluation. "She said her brother is missing," Grizz states. "Not a question, a fact." "And I told you." "She's confused," Albright replies, his voice tight. "She has episodes. It's part of her condition." Doc stands up from the booth now, followed by Silent. They don't move forward. They just stand, a leather-clad wall, a silent show of force. "You're a doctor?" Doc asks, his tone clinical. "I'm her family's counselor, a mentor." Albright corrects himself, a minor slip. "I've known her for years." "A counselor," Grizz repeats, the words sounding foreign in his mouth. "And you're picking her up from her home." "I was visiting, and she had one of her fits. Ran out of the house before I could stop her," Albright says smoothly, the lie rolling off his tongue. "Her mother is worried sick." Grizz kneels. The motion is slow, deliberate, his knees cracking softly. He lowers his huge frame until he is eye level with the terrified girl. He ignores the suited man completely. His voice, when he speaks to her, is transformed. The gravel is gone, replaced by a gentleness that seems impossible. "What's your name?" Lily," she stammers, still trembling. "Lily," he repeats. "My name is Grizz. These are my brothers." He doesn't gesture. He doesn't need to. "You said he took your brother." "Toby," she nods frantically, tears welling up again. "He came to our house. He told Mommy he was taking Toby for a special treat. For ice cream. But he didn't. I saw his car go the wrong way." Her breathing hitches. "I hid in the back of his car, under a blanket. He didn't see me." The diner is utterly silent again. The lie Albright told has been shredded by the child's simple, terrified truth. "Where did he take him, Lily?" Grizz asks, his voice soft as a prayer. Albright scoffs from behind him. "This is ridiculous. She's making it all up. She's a pathological liar. It's documented." Grizz doesn't even flinch. His entire universe has shrunk to the small, dirt-streaked face in front of him. Lily's eyes squeeze shut. She's trying to remember, trying to push past the fear. The old cannery, she whispers, the words barely audible. By the river. He has a storage place there. Unit 14-inch. The detail is a lightning strike. Specific. Concrete. Verifiable. This is the moment. The shift. The point of no return. The suspicion in Grizz's mind hardens into cold, diamond-hard certainty. He looks up a document. A slight, almost imperceptible nod. Doc pulls out a smartphone. His fingers, usually stained with grease and oil, tap the screen with surprising speed. And Lily, Grizz says, his attention back on the girl. Is there anything else? Anything at all? She thinks for a second, her brow furrowed. His keys, she says. He has a key for the unit. It's on a chain with a blue rabbit's foot. A fuzzy 1-inch. Another detail. Small. Perfect. The kind a child would notice. The kind a liar wouldn't invent. Albright's face is changing. The mask of concerned professionalism is cracking under the pressure. A vein throbs in his temple. This is an abduction. He sees, his voice losing its silken quality, becoming sharp and brittle. You are intimidating a child and holding me here against my will. I am a respected member of this community. I'm calling the police. No need, Doc says quietly, not looking up from his phone. I'm already looking you up, Dr. Albright. He turns the phone screen so Grizz can see. There it is. Dr. Arthur Albright, a celebrated child psychologist. Articles praising his community work. A photo of him shaking the mayor's hand. A wolf in the finest sheep's clothing. Brenda, Grizz says, his voice calm, but with a new edge of command. You know a deputy? The waitress, who's been watching with wide, fearful eyes, nods jerkily. Deputy Miller. He comes in for coffee. Call him, Grizz orders. Tell him to meet us at the old cannery on River Road. Tell him it's about a missing boy named Toby. And the storage unit. Number 14-inch. Brenda doesn't hesitate. She snatches the diner's cordless phone and scurries into the kitchen. The game is over. Albright knows it. His composure shatters completely. The handsome face contorts into a mask of pure rage and panic. The predator, cornered, is revealed. You have no right, he snarls, his voice a guttural rasp. You are nothing. Filth on a roadside. You think anyone will believe a child and a pack of degenerate thugs over me. He lunges. Not at Grizz. Not at the other bikers. He lunges for Lily. His plan is clear. Grab the evidence. Grab the witness. Flee. He never makes it. Silent moves. He had been a statue of leather and denim, but now he flows like water, like smoke. One moment he is by the booth, the next he is beside Albright. There is no punch, no violence, just a movement. Silent's hand, as large as a dinner plate, clamps down on Albright's shoulder. The expensive fabric of the suit jacket groans in protest. The bones beneath it grind. Albright cries out, a high, thin shriek of pain and shock. His forward momentum is stopped dead. He is held fast, an insect pinned to a board. He struggles, his polished shoes scuffing uselessly on the linoleum. He tries to swing, but his arm is caught in an unbreakable grip. The polished, respected doctor is gone, replaced by a wild, cornered animal. Get off of me, he screams, his voice cracking with hysteria. Spittle flies from his lips. Grizz rises to his full height, a shadow falling over the struggling man. He gently guides Lily behind his massive frame, shielding her from the ugly display. It's over, Grizz says, his voice flat and final. The diner patrons are on their feet now, their fear of the bikers replaced by a horrified understanding of the scene. The father who had started to rise earlier now stands protectively in front of his own children, his eyes locked on Albright with pure disgust. The wail of a siren grows in the distance, cutting through the highway drone. Getting closer. Albright hears it, and a new wave of desperation washes over him. He thrashes wildly in Silent's grip, but it's like a fly struggling in amber. Futile. Two patrol cars squeal into the gravel lot, their red and blue lights painting the diner in frantic, strobing colors. A uniformed deputy, a young man, enters first, his hand on his sidearm. He stops, taking in the scene. The giant biker holding the well-dressed man. The terrified child hiding behind another giant. He is followed by an older man in plain clothes. Detective Miller. He is broad-shouldered, with a tired face that has seen too much. He doesn't look at Albright. His eyes find Grizz. There's a history there, a grudging respect. Miller knows who the Road Guardians are. He knows what they do, and he knows they are never, ever wrong about things like this. Grizz, Miller says, his voice a weary sigh. What have we got? Missing boy. Toby, Grizz says, his voice low. His sister, Lily, says he's at the old cannery. Storage unit 14-inch, he gestures with his chin toward the whimpering, struggling man. That's Dr. Albright. He's her counselor. Miller's eyes narrow. He knows the name. Everyone in the county knows the name. He speaks into his shoulder radio. Car 2, proceed to the River Road Cannery. Check storage unit 14. Use bolt cutters if you have to. I want eyes on it now. He then turns his full attention to Albright, who has gone limp in silent grip, his face pale and slick with sweat. Dr. Albright, Miller says, his voice laced with ice. Looks like you're having a bad day. They wait. The seconds stretch into an eternity. The only sounds are Albright's ragged breathing and the crackle of the police radio. Grizz kneels again, turning his back on the drama. He focuses only on Lily. He holds out his hand, palm up, a gesture of peace. You were so brave, Lily, he says softly. The bravest girl I've ever met. She hesitates for a moment, then her tiny, trembling hand creeps into his massive, calloused one. Her fingers are like tiny birds. The radio on Miller's shoulder crackles to life. Dispatch, this is Unit 2. We're at the location. We have entry a pause. The entire room holds its breath. We've got him. We have a boy. He's conscious. Scared, but he's okay. He's safe. A collective sigh of relief ripples through the diner. Brenda, standing in the kitchen doorway, begins to weep silently. The fight drains completely from Albright. He sags against Silent, a puppet with its strings cut. His mask is not just cracked, it is dust. Miller nods to the young deputy. Cuff him. As the cold steel clicks around Albright's wrists, Miller looks at Grizz. We'll take it from here. Grizz nods. He gently squeezes Lily's hand. It's okay now, he whispers. The monster can't hurt you anymore. Tears of fear turn into tears of relief. The sobs that rack her body are different now. They are release. A great, shuddering storm of emotion. Grizz scoops her up into his arms. It is a sight to behold. The tiny, pajama-clad girl, resting her head against the patched leather vest of the giant biker. She wraps her arms around his thick neck and holds on as if he is the only solid thing in a spinning world. He carries her outside into the flashing lights. Her parents are there, their car having just screeched to a halt. The mother, her face a mask of frantic worry, runs toward them. She sees her daughter in the arms of this imposing stranger, and for a second, she falters. Lily, she cries. Grizz gently sets the girl down. Lily runs into her mother's arms, and the two of them collapse into a heap of tears and desperate hugs. The father approaches Grizz, his eyes shining with unshed tears. He is a simple man, a mechanic by the looks of his hands. He is speechless. He opens his mouth, closes it, and then simply reaches out and grips Grizz's forearm. Thank you, he chokes out. God, thank you. Grizz just nods. Your daughter is the hero. She was brave. He turns and walks back toward his brothers, who are already mounting their motorcycles. Silent is wiping his hand on a rag, as if cleaning off something unclean. The family tries to offer them money. They try to offer them anything. Grizz simply shakes his head. We don't take payment. He swings a leg over his bike. Just take care of your kids. She's one of us now. The Road Guardians protect their own. If you ever need anything, you know who to find. The words are a promise, a covenant. With a simultaneous roar that shakes the very windows of the diner, the 5 engines come to life. They pull out of the lot in their perfect formation and merge with the highway, becoming 5 dwindling specks on the horizon. The news over the next few weeks reveals the full, sickening scope of Arthur Albright's evil. He was not just a kidnapper. He was a predator of the highest order, using his position of trust to gain access to vulnerable children. Toby was not his first victim, but thanks to Lily's courage and the Guardian's intervention, he would be his last. Other families, emboldened, came forward. The celebrated doctor was buried under an avalanche of his own crimes. The town's perception shifted. The scary bikers were no longer scary. They were something else. Protectors. Their leather vests became symbols not of menace, but of a strange, fierce kind of honor. Brenda at the diner always kept 5 mugs clean and ready, just in case. She told the story to anyone who would listen. 2 years pass. The seasons turn. The road goes on forever. The road guardians are gathered in their clubhouse, a converted warehouse that smells of oil, leather, and stale beer. It is a sanctuary, a fortress. The mail is brought in, a stack of bills and magazines, and one small, pink envelope. It is addressed simply to Grizz and the road guardians. He tears it open with a thick, careful finger. Inside is a photograph and a drawing. The drawing is done in crayon. It shows a big, smiling man with a beard, covered in tattoos, holding the hand of a little girl. Around them are 5 motorcycles, drawn with loving, if inaccurate, detail. The photograph is of a boy and a girl on a swing set. They are laughing, their faces turned up to the sun. It is Lily and Toby. They're not just safe. They are happy. They are whole. A single sheet of notebook paper is folded inside. Dear Grizz, it reads, in a child's careful print. Mom helped me write this. Toby and I are good. School is fun. I got an A in reading. I told my class about you. I told them heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear leather and ride motorcycles. Thank you for saving us. You are our heroes forever. Love, Lily. Grizz reads the letter aloud to his brothers. A reverent silence fills the room. He takes the photograph and the drawing and walks over to a large corkboard on the wall. It is covered in other photos, other drawings, thank you notes from women given a bus ticket to a new life, a graduation photo from a boy they'd pulled out of a gang, a wedding invitation from a runaway they had returned home. It is their testament, their true creed. Grizz pins Lily's letter and her photo in a small, open space on the board. He steps back and looks at it. A small, satisfied smile touches his lips. His code, their code, is reaffirmed. They are the monsters who hunt monsters, the shadows who protect the light. He turns back to his brothers. Let's ride, he says. And they do. Out of the clubhouse, into the fading light of day, their engines singing the song of the open road. Always watching, always waiting for the next cry for help, always ready to be the heroes no one expects.